What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Hey man, Chloe Bailey just made a big announcement. Her new album is about to drop in March. The album is called In Pieces, and some details have been leaked out, okay? A lot of stuff hasn't been shared publicly, but for people that are actually inside her private Discord, for her fan base, a little bit more has been revealed as well. I'm gonna get into all of that, but let's go through the surface stuff first before we actually get to the layers. So the first thing is she put this trailer out of her in this like little red bodysuit or whatever, and she's looking like a scale holding balance of a heart and some type of golden sphere. Don't really know what that is, but she's balancing the weight of heart and maybe mind, or the weight of the world on the other hand. I can't decipher that. Somebody that's a little bit good with decoding, go ahead, let me know what your perspective is on this, right? In the song, she's singing things getting heavy. She wears her heart on her sleeve. How could she be so naive? All of this type of thing. So I guess that kind of ties into the imagery that we're seeing in the trailer, which is only a solid like 15 seconds. I'll show it to you guys, but I can't play the music for copyright reasons. She then followed that announcement up with a pre-save link letting you know that the album will be available in March, but for all of the dedicated fans that want to make sure that it gets delivered directly to them on the release date, you can go ahead and pre-save it now so that you're not waiting in the wings, waiting for it to pop up on your algorithmic stuff that the different streaming platforms be putting together for you. Go ahead and save it if you're a diehard Chloe fan. All right, cool. We got all of that out the way. So let's get into some further details, okay? One of the first things I want to talk about is there's an alleged single that's dropping on Friday that she has not actually talked about. An account on Twitter called Pop Teens popped up and said Chloe's new single is reportedly called Pray It Away and will be released on Friday, January 27th, which is this week. So they're about to get a jump on this March release. Go ahead and get a single in rotation, which I think is smart. Pray It Away is an interesting song title. Clearly it's going to probably be dealing with some type of temptation, hardship, urges to do something, possibly dealing with, a lot of times when it comes to Pray It Away, it could be depression. It could be something dealing with your sexuality in one way or another. As we know, she comes from a strong Christian background and she's been acting out a little bit lately. If you're somebody that prescribes to the Bible and all of that type of stuff, she's coming into her own growth as a young lady, discovering things about herself, discovering things about her body, and she's kind of putting that on display. She has been, at least for the last couple of years. Perhaps some people in her life have told her that it's best to pray away her urges to display these things or pray away her desires. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what that is, if that's even real. But then there's that private Discord, and she dropped a bomb on her fan base in there, and she says none of the past singles are on this album, right? So I think there's like 3 or 4 different records that were released in the anticipation of this album. We all remember Have Mercy, which is probably the biggest song out of all the singles. It had the cover where it was kind of like looking like a loose tribute to Beyonce, going solo, first solo single. She did a lot of performances of this record. She went and did award show performances, everything. And this is the track that kind of got a lot of people like, oh snap, she finna do her thing. This is what we've been wanting. This is what we've been waiting for. But then there was also a lot of people, detractors, that felt like, oh, I don't like the direction she's taking her music, right? Then came 2 other singles, Treat Me and Surprise, which I can't even lie to y'all, I really don't remember the records. Not to say that they weren't good, but it's just like they're not that memorable to me personally. Even after they came out, she continued to perform Have Mercy. So that lets you know what it was. And then the last one was For the Night featuring Latto. Now this one got a lot of polarizing reactions online as well. There were people that loved it and there were some people that really didn't like it. I thought it was a pretty cool song. I thought Latto's verse was all right, but very unnecessary. The music video wasn't all that interesting. It looked like it was something they tried to slap together while she was out touring and on the road. So it was like, okay, let's tie in this situation. They put Drewski in the video, who she's been rumored as dating, which is totally not true, but they fed into those rumors. Didn't really see his purpose in the video because he didn't really do anything, especially for the profile that Drewski has of him being a comedian or, trying to get into acting and stuff like that. Celebrities link with celebrities, get cameos. That happens all the time, but just in my perspective and a lot of people's perspective, it was like, why have Drewski in the video if he's not actually going to contribute to the overall story or make it any more interesting or entertaining? And again, Latto's verse wasn't bad. It just didn't need to be there. Sometimes the R&B hip hop collaboration just doesn't always come together so symbiotically, you know what I mean? And I think this is one of those instances. It was cool, but it didn't add anything interesting or necessary to the song. It might have increased the visibility of the record and the music video. Modern age sex symbols in the new popular culture pantheon. They have their own buzz going on. They're both fairly young, new generation acts. It made sense on paper to me, but then once I heard the song, it was like, whatever. The song kind of gave me a Tony Braxton kind of feel, like a throwback Tony Braxton vibe, you know what I mean? Which is cool if you really enjoy R&B, but it didn't really build anticipation for the album any more than anybody already was. Have Mercy is kind of like the staple. But then she drops the bomb and says none of those singles that have been released are going to be on the album. So she started from scratch. She scrapped everything and decided to create a cohesive project, which I actually am glad that she's doing. More artists probably need to do this, but of course, in the streaming age, many people are afraid to do that. They would rather go back and use those old tracks, use the streaming statistics from those old tracks to contribute to the chart positioning of the new album, contribute to the streams of the new album to, get it to platinum status as fast as possible. In this day and age, everybody is so concerned with getting plaques, so much so that social media platforms like YouTube and other places are giving people plaques for views. I'm not mad at it, but it just goes to show you how big vanity metrics play into people's rollouts these days, more so than the actual content, more so than the actual music. So I'm glad she scrapped it and decided to create something that she could be a little bit more happy about, with it being her debut solo album. Being that she is starting from scratch, we don't know what this album's gonna sound like. All we can really do is anticipate what this first single, Pray It Away, is gonna sound like, what it's gonna do, if it's gonna chart in the meantime before the album drops. All of those things are purely speculative until we actually get the drop this Friday, which I hope is a good record. I hope it's something that's going to be worth adding to my playlist. I want to see Chloe succeed, to be honest. I'm not one of the people that's hating on her. There's a lot of people out there that feel like she does too much, and perhaps she does, but that's actually what a lot of celebrities and stars do. I think over time she will calm down. She will find her grace. She will find her happy medium between doing a lot and knowing when to tame it. But right now, she's still young and having fun. I say go do your thing, man. Don't let people talk you out of your moment. You feel me? That's something that a lot of us do just in our everyday lives. Like, we could be happy. We could be in complete joy. And because of what other people in the room are doing, we'll conceal that and hold it to ourselves. We may have a great idea for a new look that we want to try, especially women, just to be more direct, because dudes don't really veer too much off. You might grow your hair, get an afro, get some dreads, get some braids, you know what I'm saying? Then you cut it off and start over, whatever. That ain't no big deal. But for a lot of women, they go through eras and phases with their look, with how they present themselves, and I don't think they should restrict themselves based on how somebody else perceives it if that's what's going to make them happy. So I kind of feel that way about Chloe. Sometimes I'm not always thrilled about the things that she does. She does come off as a try-hard sometimes, but who am I to dictate that? Some people say I'm a try-hard just for having a YouTube channel talking about this stuff. Everybody is open to critique, but that shouldn't stop you from doing what you want to do. You feel me? So yeah, man, if you're anticipating Pray It Away and the album In Pieces coming in March, go ahead and drop a comment down below. Even if you're not, let me know how you feel. Be sure to like and share this video. And if this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the post notification bell for all updates, and I will see you guys on the next one, all right? Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.
Got my legal hustle, welcome to the trap. I can blow a stack, bet I make it back. You can hit my line if you need a track, but we can't even talk if it ain't about the bag. Got my legal hustle, welcome to the trap. I can blow a stack, bet I make it back. You can hit my line if you need a track, but we can't even talk if it ain't about the bag.